Good evening. Welcome back to ExPat InSghts. I'm your host, Raju Mandhyan, and we are talking about engagement and abundance. The feeling of engagement and the feeling of abundance, or the concept of engagement and the concept of abundance in individual lives here in Asia. We just spoke to Kitty Chang and Anthony Kong from Malaysia. We talked about it, and they gave us their framework, their formula for success. And now we have someone who knows the deeper science behind it. A gentleman also from Malaysia, a doctor by profession, Dr. Arulnathan, the author of The Power of the Subconscious Mind. And he wrote this book nearly 8 or 10 years ago. And he does work in Malaysia, seminars, workshops, trainings with this book. He's also the regional director of the Toastmasters, regional advisor of the Toastmasters in all of Asia. That means Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, China, Singapore, India, Middle East. I'm exaggerating, he'll correct me. So he's here on a trip, and he is here to substantiate what Kitty and Anthony told us about engagement and abundance. Dr. Arul, welcome to the Philippines.
Thank you.
Tell me, Malaysia is truly Asia, yet Philippines is much more fun to be here, is it not?
When I step foot into Philippines,
yes,
I look at the country not by the structural development,
yes,
by how the roads look, how the place look. It's the people who make the country.
Thus.
And that doesn't cost any money.
Right.
It's just a little effort. Even the poorest can put up a great show.
Right.
And that's what I see. That smiling face, that welcoming smile, and that inner feeling that really tells on the outside that they want to welcome you. They're not just putting up a show.
Right.
In many countries, they can put up a show.
So this is not the show?
No.
So the bottom line is, it is much more fun in the Philippines, yes?
Yes.
Than in Malaysia.
Maybe.
Okay. All right. Oh, I got you there for a while. So, Doc, tell us about being engaged, being fulfilled, or content, or sufficient and enough, as Kitty was mentioning in life. Where does that come from, and why is there a large number of people who are not sufficient and enough, or engaged, or contented with their life? What is the reason?
This is my concept of engagement.
Yes,
engagement, which ultimately leads to abundance.
Okay.
Abundance is the end result of this engagement. Engagement,
yes, sir,
really means getting involved. And I'll sum it up in just one word.
Yes, sir.
Attitude.
Okay.
Attitude is defined as a composite of thoughts, feelings, and actions. Remember, attitude is a composite of thoughts, feelings, and actions.
Cognition, emotion, and behavior.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes. Now, your thoughts is where everything begins. Every action, every result started as a thought in the mind of someone. So that's where you set your goals. Right? And you can set any goals. You can decide to do anything you want.
Yeah.
The next comes your feelings. Your feelings are the emotional component. And the last comes action. Action is what actualizes or brings about in the realization of what you visualized.
The thought.
The thought.
The first thought, the seed of the idea.
And the media in between is the emotion.
Yeah.
And emotion is the catalyst that transforms your thought into reality.
Wow. So if I have an idea to build a skyscraper, something that's measurable and visible, and I will have to take action.
Yes.
But my thought will have to journey through the medium of my emotions.
Yes.
Until it converts to something measurable, a cathedral, a skyscraper. So that's engagement. So if I want to do something, I want to start thinking about it, and I want to put some shoulder into it.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes.
That's action?
Yes.
Yeah. So my question is, of the millions and the billions that live on this earth, let's talk about Asia, okay, I don't know, 3 billion, 2 billion in all Asia. What makes so many Asians less happier and some Asians more happier? Like Bhutan is considered to be happier, though even
Yes.
it's not materially more successful. What is the science or the reasoning behind it? Do they not know this, that thought, emotion and action comprises of attitude or engagement?
They may not, they may not.
Right.
A lot of people who are very successful, while they're still unaware of the process. But remember, what everybody, when they think about something and they emotionalize, they take action, and they do not always lead to material results.
Right.
One example, you fall in love with someone.
Okay.
You get emotionally involved. That emotion propels you to take action. Finally, you end up getting married.
Right.
Now, that is not a material benefit.
I don't know.
Cannot
Some
be
people
measured
might
into-
argue that point, saying marriage is a material benefit.
Well, it can be a material benefit.
I'm
It
just
can be
kidding.
a material liability.
You
right?
marry Donald Trump's daughter, that's really material. I'm just kidding you. Yeah, go on.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
But the reason why I say the emotional part is important is because a thought exists in the conscious mind. Your actions are brought about by the body. And for this thought to translate into action, it has to go through the media of the subconscious mind. Once a thought is accepted by the subconscious mind, and that thought becomes auto-executive. The function of the subconscious mind is auto-executive. It tends to bring about the result in the actual world.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And that's why emotions are very important. Even negative emotions can bring about a result. Maybe a negative result, but it will still bring about a result. Right.
So if negative is sadness, anger,
If I'm angry with you,
right,
and you tell me something and I don't like it, when I really get angry with you and I feel like giving you a punch, the trigger factor is so
result.
strong that I end up giving you a punch even right in front of the television. So that brings about a result. It may not be what you wanted.
That's a scary example. Don't
Yes.
get angry at me. My example would be, so if I as a son or a son gets upset with his father's perception of him, so he says, I'm going to prove you wrong. Yeah, that's a negative emotion because he's angry. But he goes out and acts. That means he does good in his job, in his business, his profession, his social life, and he becomes successful. Would that be the statement you're making, that negative emotions can sometimes bring positive results?
Negative can bring about positive results. This is one example where the negative emotion propelled you into certain
Something
action.
positive, yeah.
But the moment you have satisfied your father, the desire is no more there. So for that to go on further, by the time he has proven to his father that he's worthy of something, he has actually started to internalize what he wants. So it becomes a positive, propelling emotion that drives him further. So that it becomes limitless.
Moving away from
Yeah.
values. So you mentioned conscious and subconscious.
Yes.
You said there is a difference. What is the difference? Define the mind actually before you go into conscious quickly.
The human mind is a large sphere of activity, of which there is a thin component called the conscious mind. And most of us think that's all there is to the human mind.
The conscious mind.
The conscious mind.
You're saying
And that makes us aware of everything around us. All your 5 sensory perceptions go through the conscious mind.
Wow. Right.
All right.
But we think that's everything. So
And
if
we
I
think that's
don't
all
like
everything.
the color of this wall, then that's my conscious mind
my conscious mind.
reacting to it. But
Yes.
on the other hand, there's a lot more.
Underneath that is like the submerged portion of the iceberg, which is a much larger portion of the activity. A lot of activities go on that you are not aware of.
Inside the
Yes.
brain or the mind.
In the mind. We
Yeah,
call it
mind.
the mind.
Yeah, not the
We
brain.
don't know exactly where the mind is located. As far as the medical people are concerned,
It's in
the
the brain.
human is in the brain.
Yeah.
All right. But many philosophers say that the conscious mind is located in the brain, but the subconscious mind is
all over
present
the
in
physiology.
the whole,
all over the physiology.
on every cell of the human body. Emerson said there is only one mind in the whole universe called the universal mind. And every individual human mind is like a small islet.
Neuron.
Islet of activity. It's like an islet in this large ocean of the universal mind. Emerson. Ralph Waldo Emerson.
Oh, the author and the philosopher.
The great philosopher, yeah.
So now, what do I do? They had a framework. Get your passion right, get your competencies right, shortlist them, and have a simple formula to reach that thing. Because they said, don't complicate it. Because if you complicate it, even though you have a great passion and a competency, you won't hit it, or you'll get really messed up. What do I do? What do I do to strike a balance and to sustain that balance long term? Because I can't hold this attitude of mine right now, which is interactive with you, for a long time. What do I do? What are your recommendations? What do people do? What do employers do?
Now, when people
Yes, sir.
internalize what they visualized, they tend to take action.
Yes.
Now, this one may sustain them for a short period. For some people, it's longer. But sometimes the results, when you see some results, that will itself will motivate you to go further. And you go further and further.
Right.
But if your goal is high enough,
all
right, then it will propel you into action at an accelerated pace.
Oh, okay.
And very often you will achieve what you want long before the target date you have set on it.
So let me now take this. This is not, I'm getting a gist of it. I'm quite dumb many times, but today I'm trying to be smart. I'm making a conscious effort. So corporations, organizations, large ones, so the vision they have would be their goal. They set a vision, usually say,
Yes.
to a chicken in every soup bowl in America. That was a vision, no? So if you have a vision, so the bigger and the farther away it is, it's a good thing.
Yes.
It's a good thing. And then you progress towards it. You might achieve it long before you plan to achieve it.
Yes.
So thus, for individuals, for corporations, you set a vision. Then you derive the plan, competencies and passion, to keep your staff engaged. No? Individuals, how far should they set it?
As far as individuals are concerned, many people have monetary goals.
Yeah.
Goals that
they
can measure in terms of money or in terms of things. But a lot of times I work on goals that are not measurable in terms of material wealth, material acquisition.
Not numbers in the bank. No.
One example is when I joined the Toastmasters movement. All that I wanted to do was do my speeches and get my competent Toastmaster, and I did it within 3 months.
Fantastic.
Right? Then I said, why not go for the DCM? So I went on from club to club and did my speeches until I finished my advanced Toastmaster goal within 9 months. And of course, I was required to wait another year before I did my area governance position before I get my DTM. But that turned out to be about the fastest.
All right. I'd like to introduce what you're talking about, because you're speaking in Toastmaster jargon, which my audience doesn't understand. So Dr. Arul is a Toastmaster, as I mentioned, which is a public speaking person, and he gets trained for speaking and leadership. So he's talking about the norms you achieve and the work you do. So I hope you get it. And if you want to find out about Toastmasters, it's www.toastmasters.org. Or you can look him up on Facebook. So, Doc, going back, so you progressed. You planned to go to a certain level, which was 10 stages in the Toastmaster. So when you reached there, you saw another vision.
Yes.
You saw it. So what's the formula for doing that? To go up and again and sustain it?
Without realizing, I was developing a passion for it.
Oh, okay. So you're saying that when you climbed up Mountain 1, you built up some muscle.
Yes.
Some unconscious or subconscious muscle to do more.
Yes.
Wow. How do I now, as a CEO of a company, I own a company for 5,000 people. How do I diffuse this attitude management of being engaged and abundant? How do I diffuse it to a larger number of people?
It's very difficult to define getting engaged into a thing. But I feel that if you can internalize your vision into your body.
You're talking to the CEO.
Yeah. Now, if you can internalize your goal into your subconscious mind, it will actualize. Now, when I talk of internalize, many people, it's a word that everybody understands, but nobody really knows what it is.
To memorize it for good.
That's what a lot of people think.
Okay,
but to me, to the subconscious mind, internalization means you should be able to translate that thought into the 5 sensory modalities. Visualize. Can you close your eyes and form a mental picture of what you want? In terms of, as clearly as possible, 3-dimensional, in color, in motion.
Can you describe it?
These are primary modalities and submodalities. Then, can you represent it in terms of the auditory modality, which is your hearing?
Sound.
Can you hear people talking to you? Can you hear people congratulating you, on your achievement?
Yes, sir.
Right. The end result.
Yeah.
Third, the kinesthetic.
Yeah.
Which is the feeling.
Feeling.
How do you feel? All right. That can be emotional. That can be physical feeling in terms of touch.
Yeah.
You are sitting in the CEO's chair, the most comfortable chair. You're feeling the beautiful air conditioning around, the comfortable mahogany table.
Yeah.
All right. And the smell that goes with
it.
All the 5 sensory modalities and more. When you involve all 5 sensory modalities, then it's internalized.
Dr. Arul, thank you very much for these insights. The show time is up. If you want to say bye to your friends and audience, or if there's last parting words or good wishes for the Philippines, or telling the Malaysians that it's much more fun in the Philippines, this is your last 60 seconds.
To all my Toastmasters friends in District 75, that's in the Philippines, I wish you all the success, all the best, and I know you will come up as the #1 district in the world.
Salamat and mabuhay po, Dr. Arul.
Mabuhay.
That was Dr. Arulnathan, and we just spoke about engagement and abundance in Asia. Next week, our guest will be the Ambassador of New Zealand. I'm your host, Raju Mandhyan. Good night and mabuhay po.